Hey guys, John here. If you watch this channel, you know that I do not believe in a devil. But I wanted to talk about the advice or the warning that Denzel Washington gave to Will Smith at the Oscars. Because when Will Smith said it, it really kind of struck me because there was a lot to be unpacked in it. He said, when you're at your highest is when the devil comes for you. And first of all, I don't believe in a devil. But when you're at your highest is the part of this that I want to talk about. Oftentimes on this channel I talk about hierarchy and how no one person is greater than another. Well, when someone says you're at your highest, that could be someone else's opinion of you and where you are. But when you get into the idea of you being at your highest, that is a very clear expression of your ego being out of balance. Now, what is ego? I've talked about this on many situations. Ego simply means self-awareness. You can have a balanced ego, and that's what we should also be striving for. But when the word ego gets often used for a big ego, well, an ego that's out of balance to the point of its own self-importance. A ego out of balance in the other direction is someone who is so selfless that they don't give to themselves as well. So they're out of balance. Their self-awareness is not involved in self at all. And what you really need to realize is that if God is love, you're supposed to be loved as equally as everyone else is as well. So be self-aware, have an ego, but don't have an ego that's out of balance. But Denzel talked about when you're at your highest is when the devil comes for you. This is a fear-based statement. This is a statement that basically says that you should always be worried that something's coming to get you. You should always be worried that some outer negative evil force is coming for you. And I believe as long as you put belief in that, then you're giving yourself an excuse. You're giving yourself a reason, well, the devil came for me. And I think that the excuses themselves are reasons for missing the mark. Excuses themselves are reasons for giving yourself an out. And the reality of it is that when an ego gets out of balance, you're going to do bad things. So it's not really that the devil came for you, it's that your own narcissistic self is doing things that are selfish. And that's the quote unquote devil in this situation is the negative fear-based crap. And when somebody gets into that very much narcissistic place of an ego out of balance towards a big ego, what happens to them is that they start hurting others because it makes them feel like they're deserving of more power and they start doing putting fear-based things on other people. Oftentimes also people who get into the narcissistic place don't realize that one of their biggest fears is the fear of not being powerful. And when I look at what Denzel said to Will, he basically was giving Will permission for doing what he did. And Will got up right after that and said, Denzel just said, when you're at your highest, the devil comes for you. Well, that's an excuse. That's an excuse being used to forgive himself for his ego being out of balance. And when I look at this situation, and the thing is, I enjoy Will Smith's work a lot. I think he's very funny. I don't think he's the greatest actor in the world. I think he's very good, but he gave himself an ego, and that was everyone was saying he's going to win the Oscars. So got himself sitting right dead center of the front row, and he was very much on the ego high that night. He was very much on his self-awareness was basically tilted towards him, being a big man that night, and he allowed himself to be taken by a big ego. The devil did not come for him. The devil did not come and give him an excuse or a reason why he should have been able to do what he did. The devil did not come for him. Will came for Will. Will allowed himself to go off into fear-based crap and big ego and narcissistic stuff. He went and inflicted a violent act on someone else. Why? To give fear, right? Then when he walked off the stage, he was actually, if you go back and watch the video, as he walked off stage, was having an adrenaline rush, and he was giving the dominance walk as he walked away. He adjusted his vest. He walked off stage like, "Yep, I just did that." And the point of that is that's all ego stuff. That's all ego out of balance stuff. He was very aware of what was going on in his moment. He was very aware that he was the dominant person in that moment, and he was very aware that of what he just did. He had a long walk to Chris Rock before he did it, so he knew what he was doing the whole time, and his ego was out of balance. But once again, the devil did not come for him. The devil did not in any way, shape, or form come for him. In that moment, Will was the product of Will, and the action that Will took was the product of Will allowing himself to feel better than others, allowing himself to have a big ego about it. Now, on a flip side of this, I don't believe that hateful humor is warranted in the world either. And quite honestly, I think the jury is still out on whether Chris Rock even knew she had alopecia. So it might have just been the hairstyle, and and on another element, Jada Pinkett Smith said at one of her interviews said, "I don't care what anybody says about my bald head." She actually said that, months and months ago. She says, "I like the way I look," and so, what was it? Was it an alopecia joke? I don't think so, but maybe it was. Who knows? But if it had been, harmful, hurtful, that's why I can't watch the new roasts that they do, like the MTV roast or whatever it is that they're doing now, or Comedy Central roasts, because they're not funny. In the old days, you had the Dean Martin roast back in the 70s, and people got up and were witty and were funny, and that was a very unique thing. But humor itself has gotten mean. Humor itself has gotten vicious, and humor itself has been weaponized just to hurt people and to make people feel weak and small, and make comedians feel powerful. So I think that everyone's jumping to Chris Rock's defense, as rightfully they should, because no one should be assaulted for words. But in the same vein, if you're a comedian and you're intentionally saying hurtful things, you're kind of asking for something. It doesn't have to be a violent or something, but I won't watch your stuff. I just am not interested. So that's my thought on the devil coming for you and putting out negative fear-based stuff into the world. Comedians shouldn't do it. Will Smith shouldn't do it. But the devil is not coming to get any of them unless their ego gets out of check. And then it's not the devil. It's they themselves that are causing the issue. So that's my thought on that. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.